Have you ever wondered how ancient biblical stories still hold relevance in today's world? It might seem like a leap to connect the past and the present, but let's take a moment to explore the tale of Elijah and the prophets of Baal. This narrative, steeped in history and spirituality, is a gripping account of faith, confrontation, and divine intervention. It's a story that transcends time, carrying lessons that still echo in our lives today. So let's dive into this fascinating tale and see what it can teach us. Firstly, we need to understand who or what Baal was. Now, Baal wasn't a single entity but rather a title meaning lord or master in various Semitic languages. It was often associated with a specific deity, typically the storm god Hadad in the ancient Near East. Baal worship was widespread in the Bronze Age and Iron Age among ancient Semitic-speaking peoples. The worship often included ritualistic practices and sacrifices, which were contrary to the teachings of the Israelites. Over time, the term Baal became synonymous with false gods or idols in Hebrew texts, representing a departure from the monotheistic worship of Yahweh. The biblical narrative in the books of Kings paints Baal as a symbol of idolatry and apostasy. The Israelites, led astray by their leaders, turned their backs on Yahweh to worship Baal, setting the stage for a divine showdown. Now that we've got a grasp on Baal, let's see how Jezebel and Ahab enter the picture. Enter Jezebel and Ahab, two infamous characters in biblical history. Ahab, the king of Israel, and his wife Jezebel, a Sidonian princess, are well known not for their righteousness, but rather their idolatry. Jezebel in particular was a fervent worshiper of the Canaanite god Baal, and she didn't keep her faith to herself. No, she influenced her husband Ahab, and soon enough the worship of Baal spread like wildfire among the Israelites. Baal, a storm and fertility god, became the Israelites' go-to deity, replacing Yahweh, their covenant god. This was no small shift. It was a seismic religious upheaval that challenged the very identity of the Israelites as God's chosen people. Ahab and Jezebel didn't just promote a different faith, they started a spiritual revolution, one with serious consequences. The stage is set for a confrontation, one that would take place on Mount Carmel. The tension reaches a climax on Mount Carmel, where a challenge is issued. Imagine this. The day is sweltering hot, and atop Mount Carmel, two forces stand ready for a showdown. On one side we have Elijah, a lone prophet of God. On the other we have 450 prophets of Baal, backed by the royal influence of Jezebel and Ahab. The odds from a human perspective seem heavily stacked against Elijah. But Elijah is not deterred. He proposes a test. He challenges the prophets of Baal to call upon their God to light a sacrifice. The prophets accept and begin their ritual, crying out to Baal from morning till noon. But there is no response. Not a spark, not a flicker, not even a wisp of smoke. Their shouts echo off the empty sky, unanswered. Elijah, in contrast, prepares his sacrifice and does something unexpected. He douses his altar with water, not once, not twice, but 3 times, until water is running all around it. Then he prays a simple yet powerful prayer to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. And then in a moment that sears itself into the memory of every onlooker, fire descends from the heavens. It consumes the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, and even the water in the trench, a divine, undeniable demonstration of God's power, leaving the prophets of Baal and the Israelites in awe-struck silence. In the aftermath, the people declare, "The Lord, He is God." Elijah orders the prophets of Baal seized and not one of them escapes. It's a dramatic turn of events, a divine intervention that tilts the scales in favor of a lone prophet standing against a multitude. The aftermath of this confrontation would have lasting implications for the Israelites. It serves as a dramatic reminder of God's power and the futility of their allegiance to Baal. The people are left with a choice, a decision that would shape their future and their relationship with the God of their fathers. So, what does this story mean for the dynamics between God and the Israelites? Let's dive in. The confrontation on Mount Carmel was a pivotal point in the Israelites' relationship with God. It was a moment that underscored the patience of God, waiting for His people to turn back to Him, no matter how far they strayed. The showdown also highlighted the unmatched power of God, who answered Elijah's prayer with fire from heaven, leaving no room for doubt about His supremacy. Despite the Israelites' dalliance with the prophets of Baal, God was ready and willing to forgive, reaffirming His covenant with them, reminding us of His enduring love and mercy. God's patience, power, and willingness to forgive were on full display, serving as a stark reminder of His unwavering commitment to His chosen people. The Israelites' flirtation with Baal worship was a significant misstep, but God's response was a testament to His enduring covenant. Let's wrap up by looking at the key lessons we can take from this story. What can we learn from Elijah's face-off with the prophets of Baal? Let's delve into the essence of this epic confrontation and the timeless lessons it offers. Firstly, the story underscores the importance of unwavering faith. Elijah was one man against 450 prophets of Baal, yet his confidence in God never faltered. He believed without a shred of doubt that God would answer his prayer. This teaches us the power of faith, the kind of faith that is steady, unshakable, and absolute. Secondly, the story highlights the role of courage. Elijah stood up against a king, a queen, and hundreds of false prophets. He took risks, defied the norms, and challenged the status quo for the sake of truth. This reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Lastly, the story speaks of the power of prayer and intercession. Elijah's prayer on Mount Carmel was not just a petition, but an intercession for the Israelites. He prayed for them to turn back to God. This brings to light the role of intercession in our lives, reminding us that our prayers can make a difference not just for us, but for others as well. Remember, these ancient stories still have much to teach us, so keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. In our journey through the ancient tales of the Bible, we've discovered that these stories are not just historical accounts, but profound lessons wrapped in narratives. They offer wisdom, guidance, and inspiration for our modern lives. The incredible story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal is no exception. In a world often dominated by false narratives and distractions, the story of Elijah reminds us about the importance of discernment, about standing up for what's true and just, even when it's not popular or easy. It shows us the power of faith and courage, the transformative potential of prayer and intercession. These stories tell us that no matter how outnumbered we feel, no matter how formidable the opposition, we can triumph with faith, courage, and the power of prayer. This is the enduring message of Elijah's confrontation with the prophets of Baal. As we navigate our modern lives, let's remember to draw strength from these ancient narratives. Let's remember to stand firm in our faith, to show courage in the face of adversity, and to harness the power of prayer and intercession. Remember, these ancient stories still have much to teach us. So, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. And as we continue to delve into these timeless tales, we invite you to join us in this journey of discovery and growth. Stay tuned for more biblical lessons with a modern twist. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about biblical stories and their relevance today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.